Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to our professional webinar series. We've been away for a few weeks, so thanks for sticking with us and coming back. And this week we're going to talk about living life without limits. And I think this is a very, very important issue that we need to talk about today, because we do tend to live life within our limitations. And those limitations are set in a number of ways. Those limitations might have been set consciously. So they're limitations that you've consciously decided that you have. Or we can set our limitations unconsciously. Our unconscious limitations are forming our habits and our behaviours. So we're working within those limitations. So let's think about what those limitations might look like, what they might sound like, and how it feels to live with limitations. And then later on in the webinar, of course, we'll look at how to get rid of those limitations so that we can live a life without limits. Let's think about what that might be like, a life without limits. Just consider that for a moment, would you? If you didn't have any limitations, either consciously or unconsciously imposed on yourself, what life would you be stepping into when you woke up each morning? What would you feel like? What would you be saying to yourself the moment you woke up and got out of bed if you knew you had no limitations? You can achieve anything, and you can do anything. And you can do everything successfully. What would that be like? Have you ever done that? Have you ever woke up and thought, nothing is going to limit me today? I can do anything, I can achieve anything, and I'm going to be successful. Imagine that for a moment. Think about when you wake up in the morning. Sometimes you wake up and you think, oh no, another day. Got to go to work, don't really enjoy it, I don't really want to. How does your day go when it starts like that? Now think about waking up in a different way. Think about opening your eyes and thinking, oh, this is great, it's another day. I'm going to go to work, I'm going to do some business, I'm going to make some money. I'm going to be really successful. I'm going to enjoy my relationships that I have with colleagues or with people closer to you and family. And I'm maybe going to do some social stuff later on, and going to work out, going to keep healthy. Imagine if all of those things just flashed through your mind when you woke up. What a different day you would have. So let's consider this issue of limitations. Let's just consider it for a moment. So what are the things that limit us? What's barriering us? What's putting a blockage in the road to our success? And there are a number of things that cause that. I'm just going to talk about some of them here this morning for you. So the first thing are conscious reasons and excuses. Our desire to remain within our comfort zone, our belief system, and also the hats we put on, who we choose to be each and every day. So some of those things might resonate with you. You might think, yeah, I kind of do that. So let's look at each one in some detail, and then I can offer you some handy hints and tips of how you can begin to overcome those barriers. And overcoming those barriers, that can be done in a number of ways. You can go over the barriers, under them, round them. You can smash right through them. There are a number of ways to overcome your limitations. So let's have a look at our reasons and excuses. And this is probably the most prolific barrier that we consciously and unconsciously put in front of ourselves. And sometimes they're so great, they can feel like a huge wall in front of us that completely not only blocks our progress forward along our path, but it blocks our visibility of the future, of our path forward to our destination. We can't even see over it. It's so big. So let's think about this. How many times have you made reasons and excuses for not doing something or not getting something? And of course, you never did it and you never got it. In NLP, we call this the difference between cause and effect. And when we're at effect, we have reasons and excuses for why our life is why it's like it is, why we didn't get what we wanted. Think about all those dreams you had when you were growing up, when you were very small. Think about what you wanted to do with your life, what you wanted to be, where you wanted to go, what you wanted to have. Did you get them? Or did you settle for something less and then make reasons and excuses for why you didn't get what you dreamt of as a child? It's an interesting question. And we have reasons and excuses. So reasons and excuses are putting the cause of your life outside of yourself. So my life isn't like I want it because, and then you put the blame outside of yourself, the reasons outside of yourself. So my life is like it is because, and you might say because of the government, because of the financial situation in the world, because of the bank, because of my job, because of my employer, because of the people I work with, because of my family, the fact that I had a family, because of my partner, because of my friends. And you find some reason and excuse for why you didn't get what you wanted in life. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you take blame back to yourself, because you are where you are because of your conscious and unconscious choices in life. All the decisions that you've made have brought you to where you are now. And some of that was done unconsciously. So it's not a blame game. It's about taking back your responsibility. And when we take back our responsibility, then we can start to look at our results. Then we can start removing our limitations. So just think about all the reasons and excuses that you use on a daily basis. And when you think of all the excuses, all those excuses that you make up on a daily basis, and you believe they're true, you believe they're your reality, and it's that belief in your excuses that is limiting your progress. So here's the first handy hint. Stop making excuses. Leave the excuses behind. And instead, think about how you can start to create the life that you want. So let's stop blaming the government. Let's stop blaming the financial situation. Importantly, let's stop blaming money. Let's stop blaming lack of time. Here's the thing. Everybody has the same amount of time available to them every day. Time is constant. It's what we choose to do with that time that dictates what results we get. I hear people say all the time, oh, I haven't got the time to do that. I know I want to do that. And some people would say, I know I should do that. I just don't have the time. It's simply an excuse. We all have the same amount of time. A billionaire has the same amount of time available to them as somebody who's living on the breadline. It's what you choose to do with that time that counts. And the other thing we blame all of the time for not getting what we want in our life is money. And the thing about money is, once we put money there as a barrier, it changes the way we respond to the concept of money. Think about that for a moment. What do you think about money? How do you feel about money? Is it a barrier for you? Now, here's a handy hint. Start thinking about money as simply an exchange of energy. When people invest in you, they are giving you energy. When people don't invest in you, so maybe you're in business and you want to sell a service or a product and nobody's buying, that takes away your energy. And after a while, you just give up because you're giving, and nobody's giving you back. Your energy isn't coming back to you. So when you give out energy, your services and your products or work, remember that you need to open yourself to receiving as well, because that's where you get your energy back. Money is simply an exchange of energy. So for example, if you were to buy coaching or training in order to enhance your ability to remove your barriers and your blockages, then you're investing energy in yourself by giving money to a trainer or a coach so that they can give you their energy back. It's an exchange of energy. So handy hint for today, please change the way you think about money. It's not a barrier, it's an enabler. So think about your reasons and excuses and just leave them behind. Do it for today. Every time you think of a reason or excuse for not having or doing what you want to do, or something that would take action and drive you along your path to success, and you make a reason or excuse not to do it, just catch yourself and think, okay, let's leave that excuse behind. What am I going to do to make it happen? So stop making excuses. The other thing that limits us from moving forward is our constant desire to stay within our comfort zone. It's like a grey zone in your life. If we look at the quality of life against time, sometimes it's really good and sometimes it's really bad. Let's be real, life happens and sometimes it's not that great. But most of the time we stay within what we call our grey zone, our comfort zone. Things are all right. Things are okay. But they're not really good. So we stay within our limitations of our comfort zone. So in order to remove that limitation, it's really, really easy. All we need to do is step out of our comfort zone just a little bit. And when we step out of that grey zone, we can step into that really good quality of life area. And until you get used to it, you can go back to your grey zone because it feels comfortable and you know what you're doing and you know what to expect. Once a day, or even twice a day, or as many times as you feel comfortable with, let's step out of our comfort zone. And every time we do that, we can step into the really good quality of life area. And the more you step out of your comfort zone, the more it grows, the more comfortable you become in a wider range of experiences and actions, in a wider range of environments. So your comfort grows. And you can spend more time in that really good quality of life area, removing your barriers, removing your limitations that are keeping you stuck in your life's okay zone. You deserve more than that. We don't need to settle for it's okay. It's not too bad. We say that a lot in the UK, don't we? Just think about those words for a moment. It's not too bad. Wow. Even the words are loaded with limitations. So let's move into really good. So handy hint about getting out of your comfort zone. Today and every day from now on, do at least one thing that just steps you out of your comfort zone, just for a little while. And you'll feel how your comfort zone starts to grow. And some of those barriers will start to fall down so that you can experience and step into that really good quality of life area a little more often. And of course, as your comfort zone grows, that quality of life area is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And you can experience the really good quality of life more often and more intensely. So think about stepping outside of your comfort zone. Another really big thing that limits us are our beliefs. And some of our beliefs are conscious and some of them are unconscious. But here's the thing, our beliefs are not true. Our beliefs are simply constructs around which we organize our behavior. Let's think about that for a moment. If you have beliefs that limit you, I'm not good enough, I can't make enough money, I can't get the job I want, I can't live the life I want, other people are all better than me. These are examples of limiting beliefs. And when you hold those beliefs as true in your mind, your unconscious mind listens to that and it will organize your behavior accordingly. So your unconscious mind thinks, oh, okay, that's what's true. And so I'm going to produce habitual behavior towards that end. So of course, if you believe you're not good enough, or you believe other people are all better than you, or you believe that you can't make the money that you want, that's the behavior that you're going to create, and you will create those outcomes. Now, the converse is obviously true. If you have empowering beliefs within your neurology, I'm absolutely good enough, I can have exactly what I want, I can be the best I can be, then once again your unconscious mind will produce the according behavior. So habitually you'll begin to behave like somebody who is good enough. So think about the beliefs that you have today that limit you. It's a really big area of living within limits. We impose those limits on ourselves, either consciously or unconsciously. So think about how you are limiting yourself through your belief system. Now, through NLP and timeline therapy techniques, we have a mechanism for working with the unconscious mind to remove those limiting beliefs. And if you take some NLP coaching or you come along to our face-to-face NLP coaching training, then you will learn exactly how to remove limiting beliefs. But first, you've got to identify them. So think about today, what is it that you're believing about yourself that causes you to create the life and the world that you're living in? And are any of those beliefs limiting? Those are the things that we need to remove. Finally, thinking about our limitations, we're limited by the hat that we put on in the morning. And you might choose a different hat every day. And that hat that we put on in the morning really dictates who we're going to be that day. So what hat did you put on this morning? How are you feeling today? Who are you today? And what are you going to achieve? And there are many hats, many, many, many hats. And let's just think about a few of them and what those hats might be. So you might choose the doer hat. And the doer hat is somebody who takes lots of action, running around all day, doing lots and lots of things. Taking action is great. It shows your energy and it uses up that energy in a really good way. And of course, to achieve any goal, you must take action. The question here is that action producing results? Now, I know lots and lots of people who are running around all day and actually at the end of the day have achieved very little. And this again is an example of an excuse. I'm too busy. I'm shattered. I've been running around all day. And what did you achieve whilst you were running around all day? Did you actually bring yourself closer to your goals? Did you get results for yourself? So think about that. Are you somebody who runs around all the time and actually achieves very little at the end of it? So the handy hint here, if you're a doer who's running around all day but achieving very little, just take a moment to reflect on what you're doing. Remember, it's the insane person who continues to repeat the same actions over and over again and expects to get different results. Think about that. Are you doing the same thing over and over again, using all of your energy up, taking lots of time to do it, and you're still getting the same poor results? So today, just take time to stop. Just reflect on what you're doing. Is all of the energy that you're putting into your day productive energy? Or are there things that you could actually stop doing and then find that you have time to do other things that are more productive? And of course, we run around to stay within our comfort zone and create an excuse for not actually doing the things that would produce the results. Because in our mind, doing that might be a little bit scary. And actually, when we do them, we find, oh, actually, that wasn't really scary. And the energy that I got from getting those results was amazing. So I've got lots more energy to put into other things too. You might have put a hat on this morning that was the ideas person hat. So the person who has lots and lots of great ideas, lots of thinking, and no action. So you can think and have great ideas and you can push those ideas out into the universe. If you don't take action, you're not going to get them. So again, think about, are you wearing your ideas hat? And you sit and you have wonderful ideas all day and you never do anything about them. Because doing something about them would be that step outside of your comfort zone. And so you don't achieve anything, even though you've got those wonderful dreams in your head. So, handy hint, if you've woke up as an ideas person, then get those ideas down onto paper, physically write them. And then think about, how can I create a plan of action that would actually mean that I get what I want? Maybe you're wearing a happy complainer hat. And I know you know people like this. People who just love to complain about their life. And actually, they are pretty happy with their life. They're okay. And they just love to complain about it. They're happy complaining about it. And maybe that limits them, because they're happy complaining about their life the way that it is right now. And they don't really want to move on. They limit themselves and they're happy within those limitations. And the thing is, when you're a coach or a trainer or a people person, you get quite frustrated with these happy complainers because you want to help them. They're always complaining and you want to move them on. And actually, they're quite happy where they are. They just like to complain. Think about every time you've met someone and the first thing they do is complain about the weather. It's like our icebreaker. Let's complain about the weather. And then they might complain about everything they've got to do in the day. They might complain about their children. They might complain about the school. They might complain about their partners, complain about their boss and their job. And actually, they just love to put that out there. And you'll find that all of that complaining is quite draining on your positive energy, because complaining takes energy. So it acts as a barrier to our success. So think about that. Are you a happy complainer, or do you know people that are? There's also a hat of the proud sufferer. And I know you know people like this. I had a coaching client once, and they came and they sat in the coaching room, and they started to tell me about all of the things that they suffer from. So they tell me, I have a lot of stress, I have anxiety, I can't function during the day, I'm really, really struggling to get out of bed in the morning. And I've been diagnosed by my GP. They've said I have depression. They've signed me off work. And, I just can't function. And I say, okay, well, I can help you with that. I have various techniques. I have neuro-linguistic programming. I have timeline therapy coaching techniques that can remove all that for you in a very short amount of time. Shall we do it? And what do you think the answer is? Oh, no, I don't think I'm ready for that. They actually wear their difficulties as a badge of honor. So are you a proud sufferer? Are you a put up and shut up person? Do you say things like, oh, well, there's always somebody worse off than me. We should be grateful for what we have. Have you ever heard the people use those words? Or maybe you've said them yourself. It's very common. And actually, we don't need to put up and shut up. We don't need our stiff upper lip and battle through. You deserve more than that. Because everybody listening today is a magnificent person, and you deserve to smash beyond those self-imposed limitations. You don't have to suffer. You don't have to struggle. There are ways for you to break through those barriers and move forward. And then we have our successful achiever hat. We set great goals. We clear our minds of all of our limitations. And you have plans and actions for how you're going to get what you want. And you get it because you're putting the right positive energy into the right areas. You're focusing on what you want. So think about what hat you pick up and put on out of your nice store of hats every morning. And a challenge for you. When you get up tomorrow morning, let's see if you can pick the successful achiever hat and begin to break through your limitations. So, various steps that we can take to living a life without our limits. This is about smashing through those barriers, those consciously and unconsciously self-imposed barriers to our success. So, hint number 1, leave the reasons and excuses behind. Just leave them. Notice them and then forget them. Hint 2, step out of your comfort zone today. Even if it's only a tiny step, do something that is slightly out of your comfort zone. And then your comfort zone can grow and you can spend more time in that good quality of life area. Let go of your limiting beliefs and think about adopting new empowering beliefs. And if you're struggling to do that, then get in touch, because NLP coaching and training can help you to do that. Focus on what you want and be stubborn about that. Focusing on what you want to happen. This is important. Love yourself. I know as we grow up, it becomes a little bit uncouth to love yourself. Children always say, don't they? Oh, they love themselves, as if it's a bad thing. If you don't love yourself, then how is anybody else going to show love to you? Love yourself and have a range of hats that you can put on in the morning that help you to break through your barriers. And if you find it difficult, seek help. There are many great NLP coaches and practitioners out there in all of the countries of the world. And you can come on an NLP training and learn all these things for yourself, so that not only you can help yourself, but you can help other people as well. Imagine that. So very quickly, as we're on time, are there any questions? Go ahead and use the chat box if you have a question that you'd like to ask. I'll just be quiet for a moment to see if anybody would like to ask a question. Okay, nothing popping up today. So every time I run a webinar, I give you a gift, because when you show interest in Quest for Success, we show interest in you. So we're going to make it easy for you to get the help that you need to break through your barriers and live a life without limits. And today I'm offering 5 free 20-minute coaching sessions. So the first 5 people to get in touch today can experience a 20-minute coaching session over the telephone or Skype, whichever you prefer. And we'll very quickly get to grips with what your limitations are and formulate a plan of how you can smash through those barriers. So how do you do that? You can speak with me on the landline, which is 0845 467 3039, or mobile 07722 007 204. And if you're outside of the UK, which many of you are, you can use the prefix 0044 and drop the first 0 off the number. That'll get you through. You can email me and I'll call you back. And the email address is christine@qfscoaching.co.uk. And I'm sure that you're curious to learn more, so you can see all the detail at my website, all the W's, qfscoaching.com. So thank you once again for joining the webinar, and there'll be another webinar in a couple of weeks' time, so I hope you'll join me again. So until then, from Christine at Quest for Success Ltd, lots of love to everybody, and I will see you soon. Thanks for joining.